if we go there and really to find out and to assert jurisdiction, he said it would be bloody. It would result in a violence that they cannot maybe win.
For President Rodrigo Duterte, there is no other way to take back West Philippine Sea.
Good day, everyone. This is Kyla Mercerat, and I am an AB Social Science student at Carlos Salado Memorial State College, and I will be your speaker for today. Have you ever had the experience of having someone borrow something from you, and then, when you ask for it back, he is the one who is upset with you as if he is the owner? Well, same thing happened in Scarborough Shoal in the year 2012. As a Filipino, one of our main source of income is fishing. The sea is the core or the heart of Filipino fishermen. Millions of Filipinos depend on fishing for both food and income, including small-scale and commercial fishermen. Scarborough Shoal features a 46-kilometer reach that encloses a 150 square kilometer triangular region. The waters come no matter the weather, and the catch is bountiful. At first, Filipino fishermen could make as many trips to Scarborough Shoal as they wanted to, and easily bring home 4 tons of fish each time. It became a community of boats from January to May, not only from Masinloc, but also from neighboring towns in Zambales, Pangasinan, Bataan, and the Visayas. Because each town built their boats in a specific fashion, the fishermen could tell where any boat came from, and after years of sharing the vast shoal every summer, they had gotten to know one another. But in the year 2012, Masinloc suffered misfortune when the Chinese drove Filipinos out of Scarborough Shoal and took control of the lagoon after weeks of conflict between Philippine and Chinese government ships. Filipino fishermen attempted to overtake China's large ships. Because Filipino fishermen have small ships, they were able to quickly overtake the larger ships. But they were greeted with water cannons of China. The Filipino fishermen were traumatized by the encounter, as their boats may sink if hit by the water cannons, and they could drown as a result. They also can't get into the shoal. Furthermore, the current of water or the waves is another issue. How do we defend our country against this unlawful and unjust aggression of China? We turn to our Constitution, the fundamental law of land. The Constitution mandates the state shall protect its marine wealth in its exclusive economic zone and reserve its use and enjoyment exclusively to Filipino citizens. The Constitution refers to us, you, and me. We, the Filipino people, are all part of the Philippine state, and we are all duty-bound under Constitution to defend our national territory and maritime zones. But war is not our option. Our own Constitution prohibits war as an instrument of national policy. Here's what they do. Filipino fishermen complained about this situation. It took the Filipino fishermen 15 hours to get there. How about the Chinese Coast Guards? At the same speed, probably 5 days from Hainan. The fishermen said, "Isn't it obvious who owned the shoal now?" And the truth was that they couldn't get to the shoal any longer. But they haven't lost all hope. On July 12, 2016, the Philippines won its arbitration case against China, according to the news from The Hague, Netherlands. According to the tribunal, China does not own the West Philippine Sea, and the Philippines is entitled to a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, where only Filipinos can fish. Scarborough Shoal, moreover, does not belong to China. Despite the fact that the tribunal was unable to determine which country owns the shoal, it did state that it is a traditional fishing ground for any nationality that has long depended on its bounty. including Filipinos. It means that no one has the authority to restrict anyone from Scarborough Shoal. Sadly, the arbitral has no jurisdiction. Enforcement of this law is still hard to comply because even the Philippines is following the rule of law. China is doing intently the rule of the jungle. China, on the other hand, ignored the arbitral award. The Filipinos returned to the shore, having exhausted their boats, fuel, and also their hopes. Chinese Coast Guard deployed from their huge white ships, shouting on bullhorns from motorboats saying, "This is China Coast Guard performing law enforcement duty here. Leave this area immediately." It is even caught on camera. It's as if we are thieves, but that's really ours. What is our frame of references in locating the islands of the West Philippine Sea? It is the 1734 Pedro Murillo Villar map. Again, the 1734 Pedro Murillo Villar map, because this is the official Philippine territory under the Spanish regime, and this is what they have ceded to the Americans under the Treaty of Washington and the Treaty of Paris. And that also involves the Scarborough Shoal and the islands of Spratly. And this map is still alive today, and this map determines our territory. Territory that was ceded by Spain to the US, and which is now territory as the Republic of the Philippines. So, we have to go back to this because this is the most firm evidence that we can prove to all the various theories and historical basis that the China insists. However, the Chinese government will not comply with the arbitral ruling until the Chinese people fully understand that their historical basis was totally false. Most recently, it protested dangerous maneuvers by Chinese Coast Guard vessels against their Philippine counterparts in the West Philippine Sea. According to the Department of Foreign Affairs, the Chinese vessels blocked the Philippine ships during patrols and training exercises in the vicinity of the Scarborough Shoal on April 24 and April 25. Knowing this news would make you say that the Philippines is weak. My fellow Filipino people, let us not put in our minds that our administration is getting coward. We can be brave, but we must be careful. Again, war is not an option. We must have more patience and fight in a more peaceful manner as long as we can. Consider the fishermen's worst experience, their struggles, and their battle in China. Yes, exactly. We must fight for what we own. But first, let us see if we have a chance in China. We cannot allow China to take over the Philippines simply because we want the Chinese out of the Scarborough Shoal. Let us not be deceived by anger, because this may lead to the gateway of great danger. And that would be all on my stand for the West Philippine Sea. Have a good day.